This past summer and fall, I left beautiful Los Angeles, California to embark on a 2.5-month journey throughout Asia. Whether it's with my friends, my family, or myself, each destination and experience was unforgettable and inspirational in its own way. 10 countries, 27 cities, 17 planes, and countless trains, buses, car rides, and walks. Oh, and a lifetime of memories. And you're coming along with me for the ride. From Singapore, we flew down to Bali, Indonesia. Yes, the famous tropical paradise destination, but my favorite part was its cultural aspects. The people there are so genuine, and I believe much of it is due in part to its spiritual roots. Our first stop was the cultural town of Gianyar. We stayed at an Airbnb. Balinese people, if they have money, usually live in house complexes like this, where there are separate units of housing, since extended family usually live together. Our unit came with this really cool traditional outdoor Balinese shower. After checking in, our host walked us to a nearby coffee plantation, where they showed us how they make their coffee beans. I even tried luwak coffee, basically cat poop coffee, that you can only find in Bali. After our host's family took us on motorbikes to a local night market called Pasar Umum Gianyar, where you can find authentic Indonesian street food. There was a blackout, but no one was alarmed except for us, so I'm assuming it happens often. I don't eat much Indonesian, but the times I had back home, it was not very good. However, having locals make it really changed my impression of Indonesian food. For the 5 of us, the whole meal was just under $7 US. The next day, we bought a private tour package that we found from brochures at the airport for $55 US, including dinner per person, that is supposed to take us to 15 spots in 13 hours. Make sure you confirm the price on the pamphlet with the tour company because ours tried ripping us off. We started the day with watching a traditional Balinese dance. Afterwards, because the Balinese people are mainly self-sustainable, we visited a hand-weaving place, a painting house, a gold and silver smith, and another coffee garden. Next, we visited Besakih, the largest and holiest temple in Bali. It's basically like a little village you can walk through and overlook the amazing views. We had lunch in Kintamani, where we ate overlooking an active volcano, which was pretty amazing and delicious at the same time. After, we went to a monkey forest in Ubud that was pretty spectacular due to its scenery. There were brown monkeys, which are a little more aggressive in nature than black ones, so be careful and hold on to your batch of bananas. We ended the day with another Balinese dance and had dinner where they danced as well. As you can see, the Balinese people are very proud of its tradition, and I totally respect and admire the people for that. The next day, our host took us to all the places we didn't have time to visit during our tour. We first stopped at a holy water spring where you can purify yourself through praying and bathing and drinking the holy water. Most cultural Bali spots are sacred, so you'll most likely have to buy a sarong to wear to get admitted. I was feeling really sick that day, but being in the holy water did help a bit. Afterwards, we went to Goa Gajah, or Elephant Cave. No, there are no real elephants like I thought. It's another sanctuary where you can pray inside a cave where the facade is a carving of an elephant's head. It's similar to the other places we have visited, so if it's out of your way or you don't have enough time, I recommend that you pass on this site. Now, one of my best times in Bali and in my whole trip was going to Tengenungan Waterfall. It's only 10,000 Indonesian rupiahs for tourists, and it does get pretty packed of tourists. It also wasn't the clearest blue waters, but we still had a blast trying to get as near to the powerful waterfall as we could without getting knocked over. Eventually, a super nice local offered to help us get behind the waterfall, which was pretty amazing, and he helped me get back with a tube, which was also really fun. there's one dish I missed from my trip in Asia, it's definitely the Indonesian food. We ate lunch at a butterfly park right next to a rice terrace. If you have any good Indonesian recommendations in Los Angeles, please let me know. We spent the latter of our trip in Kuta, kind of the super touristy Jersey Shore of Bali. If you want more of a hipster high-end vacay spot, check out Seminyak, which is right next to Kuta. After strolling around the downtown area of Kuta, we ended up at the beach. While the beach was still really nice, I found it to be too crowded, which really ruined the experience for me. Granted, it's smack down in the middle of a tourist hotspot, but I'm sure there are tons of more remote locations that may be even more beautiful that we didn't have time to check out. Also, do check out the nightlife around the area, since many people come here to party too. Sky Garden is the place to be, although I do hear there is sometimes free admission. We paid about 150,000 Indonesian rupiah per person to get in, which also includes a free drink. There are 4 levels, some levels having multiple dance floors, and each dance floor with its own genre of music, so there's bound to be something you like. I also got to check off a bucket list item, which was to get a fish pedicure, and it was even better that I got it in Bali. My friend couldn't stand it, but it's honestly not that bad. Just a little tickle here and there. We bought a package for a day for 1.3 million Indonesian rupiah in the sea to Lembongan Island. We got to enjoy everything from snorkeling, banana boat rides, a water slide, diving boards, a coral viewer, and a tour of the self-sustainable Lembongan Island. For an additional 672,415 Indonesian rupiah, we went to do aquanaut, where you basically are submerged into 15 meters into the water and you're literally walking on the bottom of the ocean. Your oxygen is supported by this really heavy helmet you wear, and I was really scared to try it because I'm not a good swimmer at all, but the workers assured me that I didn't need any experience whatsoever and I was just fine.
Yes, you can! I'm recording, do it!
On top of not being a good swimmer, if you know me, I also hate free falling. So for me to dive off both the short and high dive board was definitely an accomplishment for me, as I consider it as an example of pushing my boundaries on this trip. Bali has been nothing short of amazing. It wasn't exactly how I imagined it to be, yet it was even better. The Balinese people don't have much and live very simple lives, yet the people are still one of the most generous beings I've ever encountered. And again, I was in awe of how rooted the people were to its spirituality. I definitely left with a greater sense of gratitude for others and the world, which I think is one of the main purposes of traveling, to widen your perspective and appreciate what you have. Thanks for joining me in Bali, Indonesia. Can you guess where I'm off to next? You'll have to find out next week. Check out my latest travel pictures on Instagram and to see when the next video is up. In the meantime, check out one of my last videos. Bye!